brought to you by Skites.com, your happy place. Hello, children! So today we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. And I've seen a couple of other people's reviews, and I just want to start it off by saying this. When I watch a movie that came from a comic book that I read or a book that I grew up reading, I judge it a little bit differently. I judge it on how well the translation is, and that's basically what this review is going to be, because I am very critical of comic book movies, especially if it's a comic book that I loved when I was little and still today. And this is one of them. So that's how this rating is gonna go. So I'm not really just watching this movie and watching it as, oh, great, another movie. I'm watching it as, how well did it translate from the comic book? So, okay. So who are the Guardians of the Galaxy? The Guardians are, it's like a group of misfits, but they're so much better and so much more likable than the Avengers. Like growing up, I wasn't big on the Avengers, even though, you know, they're like the cool ones now, and it kind of makes sense. I was more of a Watchmen fan, I'm an X-Men fan, and I'm a big hardcore Guardians fan. Loved Batman growing up, even though I wasn't supposed to read his comics until I was a little bit older. Loved Spider-Man, loved Catwoman, loved Wonder Woman. So this series, watching it, I was very, very critical. And I will say this, when you have that big of a budget, I believe they had $117 million that they used for their CGI, it could have gone really badly, because when you have that much money you can throw towards special effects, you really can't screw up a movie, because you can over CGI things and you can just make things look horrendous. But they did an amazing job with the CGI. It's believable, it's not overdone, it's bravo. So first of all, we have Chris Pratt, who's known for Parks and Rec, and he is our Star-Lord, and he is our Star-Lord. Really, I'm so glad that he got cast for this movie, because he basically nailed this role. He came off as funny, he came off as endearing, he came off as smart, and he came off as someone that could go back and forth with all the other Guardians, because it's an ensemble, and basically this whole movie is gonna fall on Star-Lord, and it's gonna fall on Rocket Raccoon, who we'll talk about in a minute. So then we have Gamora, and she's played by Zoe Saldana, and perfect, fantastic. Gamora was one of my favorite characters growing up, because she is an orphan. She gets taken in by Thanos. She has like this really amazing backstory. You really want someone that could nail this role, I mean, because she's an important character, and if they do more movies they can spin her off. And even in the comic books, she plays such an important role that if you cast her incorrectly, you're kind of screwed. But Zoe Saldana did an amazing job. She pretty much captured Gamora for who she is. She's the most feared woman in the universe. Zoe Saldana has a huge weight on her shoulders carrying off this character, and she pretty much nailed it. I love, love, love what she did with this role. And the whole movie is incredibly well written. It's funny and it's smart, and it basically encapsulates the Guardians. So then we have Groot, who's our tree, and Groot is royalty, and he's strong, and he's best friends with Rocket Raccoon, and he has one line, which is, I am Groot, and you're gonna hear it over and over and over again, but he just basically encapsulates, you know, strength, and he's well done. He serves his purpose. He doesn't, you know, they didn't make him stupid. They just basically captured Groot, and he does what he has to do. The only thing I didn't like about this movie is Drax the Destroyer. I feel like he has such an amazing background. They could have given you a little bit more of that, because Drax and his family was killed by Thanos, and then Kronos took his spirit and put it in another body, and that's how he becomes Drax the Destroyer. And he's basically given all of this superhuman strength, and because of that strength he has to go after Thanos and take him down. So I really wanted more of him to come out in this movie. That was my only criticism, but I feel like there's time for that, because this is just the first movie in the installment. As you've already seen from Comic-Con. We're already getting a second movie. It's been announced. I believe it's coming out 2017. So we have that to look forward to. 2017 or 2016. It's lo and behold, it's coming, and that's all I need, because this is one of my favorite comic books growing up. And if they do a good job with this movie, which they did, I call it the Watchmen standard, because Watchmen was so incredibly well done that it basically hits that bar. So I'm very happy about it. This whole movie it's gonna fall on Star-Lord, and it's going to fall on Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon is a badass, loudmouth raccoon, and if he is too cheesy and cheeseball, this whole movie falls apart. If he's too kiddie, the whole movie falls apart. And they pretty much, they walk that line. They toe that badass, adult, still kiddie enough for little kids. He nailed it. So for me growing up, it was always about Rocket Raccoon. So should you go see this movie? Absolutely. Absolutely you should. This is the movie of the year. Sorry, but this is it. I hope this annihilates Captain America, because I guess I'm biased because I was never really into the Captain America comic books. I was obviously more into the Guardians, and I understand the equating it to like Red Dwarf and Serenity, because it's that whole outlaws in outer space, and they're a gang riding, fighting crime in outer space and all this stuff, and it makes sense. Red Dwarf is one of the best shows ever made, and Serenity is one of the best shows ever made, so it's right up there with being one of the best. And I guess that's why, because I had read Guardians first, I guess that's why I always had an affinity for like Firefly and for Red Dwarf, because I'm coming from this world. So yes, should you see it? Absolutely, absolutely. Go see it. Go see it in 3D if you can handle it. See it in IMAX 3D if you can afford it. On a scale of 1 to 5 Duffies, what do I give this? This is a perfect 5. Even with what's going on with Drax the Destroyer, how they could have given him more. The way they captured Gamora, the way the story is told, where it's funny, yet it encapsulates the comic books, spot on, best movie of the year. I'm so glad that Chris Pratt finally gets the recognition he deserves, because he was hysterical on Parks and Rec, and now he's just gonna be one of those leading men in Hollywood, which he well deserves, because the boy can act, and he wasn't cheesy, and he wasn't goofball. He was just right. He is our Star-Lord, and if you grew up with these comic books, you're gonna be happy with this one. It's not X-Men. They still haven't pleased me with X-Men. So yeah, you're gonna love this movie, and this is something you're really gonna want to on Blu-ray. I'm already like looking at skies.com. I'm already like looking, I signed up for the emails because I want to know when that Blu-ray is coming out, because I want it, and I'm giving that out to certain people as gifts, because it's too good. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know if you're gonna see it, and let me know if you read the comic book, because I really want to know which one of the Guardians is your favorite. That is the question of the video. Alright, you guys, that's it for me. I am going to see this movie again, because I got to go to the early screening, and I want to go back and see it maybe 1 or 2 more times. How often does that happen? I never say that. I'm going to see this movie again. It was just that damn good. To quote the greatest show on earth, live long and prosper. Yay, Star-Lord! Yay, Rocket Raccoon! Talk to you guys later. Bye. I really love this movie. It was so damn good. And let me tell you, when you screw up a comic book movie, when you screw it up, I have a problem. And it was really well written. Like, they got that script. Damn.